It's been a year since the 2022 Royal Rumble, and in some ways it feels like last week. We were just talking about Brock and Seth Rollins. The landscape of WWE isn't totally different from that time period, at least on TV. I was eager for this one because it would be Triple H's first Royal Rumble, and in addition, it's the Royal Rumble, so being hyped about it was expected. I was looking forward to the show even though the build wasn't the best, barring the main event of course. I don't want to waste time. Let's get into it. The first match was the Men's Royal Rumble match. Pat McAfee returned to commentary, which was cool because he adds unique charisma to the commentary table. He says what he wants, and you feel he has a very big passion for this business. As for the Rumble match itself, let me just say that it was way better than last year. There were some comedy moments in the beginning, then Brock Lesnar just came in and eradicated some of the lower card guys. Lashley enters, eliminates him, and it gets a bit dry. It's not bad or anything like that. It's safe and conservative. Nothing more, nothing less. I was enjoying the match, then I hop onto Twitter, and somewhere on the fence about it. Another thing to mention is that the entrants were closely tied to storyline purposes. Gunther and Sheamus were first and second, Ray and Dominic, Edge and Balor, and they didn't want anyone to have high hopes, so they announced 28 men for the match. The surprise entrants were Booker T, who of course didn't last long, and Logan Paul, who killed it with Ricochet in the middle of the ring. As we drew near to number 30, the match kicked up a notch. Cody enters and boom, it's crazy. A lot's happening. Logan eliminates Rollins, Dominic gets his ass beat, and Gunther and Cody have a mini match. I heard some say the roles should be reversed with Cody fighting from underneath as the number 1 spot and Gunther is number 30, but I liked it the way it was because Gunther was a man who lasted over an hour, still had a lot left in the tank against a fresh Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes looked good anyways. He was going to win this match. But having a fight like hell to eliminate a man who had endured everything the Royal Rumble has to offer certainly made Gunther look a bit better than he already was. His performance won't be forgotten. Matter of fact, he broke Ray's record. World Champion Gunther is only a matter of time. Not now, maybe not this year, but he's going to dominate and cast a reign of terror on the WWE. For Cody, this is his time to shine. I didn't mind somebody like Sami Zayn, but the problem with Sami was after the win, it would just be like, now what? We don't expect him to hold the title for long. Cody, on the other hand, has some big stories ahead as a babyface champion, and I'm hoping Cody has a great year. The Rumble overall is not going to be talked about much compared to 2020, but it's solid and definitely an improvement over last year's. Ray, though, got screwed. The next match was a lights-out match between LA Knight and Bray Wyatt. I completely forgot that this was Bray Wyatt's first match in 2 years. The story itself is all over the place, and me personally, I'm here for LA Knight. I don't really care much about Uncle Howdy. Mountain Dew promotion all over the place was hilarious, and the match itself just happened. I don't have much to say about it, otherwise I would just be saying stuff for the sake of it. The post-match, though, gave a sign of the Fiend's return. Uncle Howdy dived off the platform onto LA Knight, and I was left almost perplexed over the storyline. I'm kind of dense when it comes to this stuff, this deep stories, like the mysterious stuff with Bray Wyatt. I just want to see the end result. LA did a great job with this storyline and deserves to do more. The fact that he had a storyline with Bray Wyatt and not only succeeded, but basically got everyone to like him more, shows that he's talented. So I hope he has a great year because the man is one of the most entertaining characters out there. I hope he feuds with some top tier talent in the near future like he did with Bray Wyatt here. Perhaps somebody like Seth Rollins, whoever. He's one of the best out there. The next match is for the Raw Women's Championship. Bianca Belair defends the gold against Alexa Bliss. One of the most insignificant matches I watched recently. The story had a slow build. Alexa basically had Bianca's number with the help of Uncle Howdy. She's channeling into her dark side basically. Yet when the match happens, it just happens. It was dull and nobody's going to ask for a replay of such a match. I don't think there's anyone in the world that's going to be like, hey, I should watch that match again. Alexa's clearly heading towards Bray Wyatt or Uncle Howdy. As for Bianca, her title reign is definitely ending soon. She had a great run, but it's time. Otherwise, people will be desperate for just about anybody to beat her if she continues just winning and winning and winning. Because people do not like seeing long title reigns. You have to evolve, and Bianca's had the same storylines since she won the title. Following this was the Women's Royal Rumble, one of the most insignificant Royal Rumbles on paper in recent memory. The effort put into the building this match was absolutely zero. I did not have much of an interest to watch it, barring the result itself. Positively, it was better than I expected. Also no 2018 Women's Rumble match, and in addition, it didn't have a reliance on older icons and legends. I think that was cool that they didn't bring out the same woman acting all shocked. Oh, it's Trish Stratus or Lita. However, I wish they brought in different wrestlers like Jazz or even Candice Michelle. Just something different. The selection was more interesting though than the men's match. NXT wrestlers such as Roxanne Perez, Zoe Stark, and even repackaged wrestlers like Asuka and Piper Niven. Asuka in particular was a huge standout and has a great future ahead. The action is regular Royal Rumble stuff. It did feel insignificant at times, but I was into it. Becky and Bayley surprisingly didn't last too long. Kind of caught me off guard, especially with Becky Lynch, who if you asked me 2 months ago, I would have said she's the pick for the Rumble. But Damage Control had a great showing. That's one thing to mention as we drew near to the number 30th spot. the match picked up. We already had a bunch of surprises already, with the most shocking being Chelsea Green, which was kind of shocking, but some people had to spoil it on the internet, so it is what it is. Michelle McCool, who was sitting in front row, entered the Rumble at one point, and we're waiting for a number 30 when all of a sudden, and this is before the countdown finished, Nia Jax came out. I had some hope saying, oh, she's just a non-entry and the real 30 is coming out. Turns out I was wrong. And what's funny is that she's back. She's officially on the roster. This is what WWE's been signing recently. But anyways, the Women's Rumble ending gave a sign of WWE's future. Asuka looked extremely dangerous, Liv Morgan looked courageous, and Rhea Ripley looked like the real deal. She entered at number 1 and went through all the talent to win the Royal Rumble. The ending was, despite the result being almost obvious, so damn dramatic. Great ending, and I'm happy to see WWE's moving forward from the 4 horsewoman era. They're obviously going to be around, but it's time for new talent to take over. Bianca's doing well, Liv Morgan's coming around, and now Rhea Ripley's possibly going to have her moment to shine. Right choice. Hardy performed, but I was elsewhere. And the main event, Roman Reigns defends the Universal Championship against Kevin Owens. This feud has a deceiving history to it. It's been on and off for 6 years, and this edition of the feud is primarily based around Sami Zayn. He's become the honorary Uce, the man that could save the bloodline when they desperately needed it, and to say the story is compelling would be a massive understatement. The bloodline is a full-on TV drama that's been going on for 2.5 years. We're around the apex part of it, and man, this is going to be one of those stories where people are like, damn, I wish WWE was still like this. It sounds weird, but that's definitely going to happen in the future. The match itself was solid. It's nothing to talk about, and the real discussion is about Sami Zayn. Roman gave him a final test of sorts for this night, and it was a situation where if he passes, all is well. Sami Zayn's animosity for Kevin Owens as time went on was slowly fading. He was starting to realize the tribal chief was a terrible person. At one point, he even asked his old friend to stay down. Roman managed to beat him despite some shaky moments, such as the chair incident where Sami was hesitant to bring it in. But even though the match was done, Roman still wanted to inflict damage and had his bloodline absolutely decimate Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn wanted to put a stop to this, but he had so much fear that he couldn't move from his spot. But when it came down to it, he finally got out of the way, and this was when Roman told him to do it. The ball was in Sami's court. Established himself as one of the bloodline with a single chair shot, and then he started crying. Roman gets in his face, starts shoving him, pressing him to the point where he received a chair shot to the back. I've never seen the crowd like that in so long. It was such a great moment to see Sami Zayn fight back after months of disrespect and unappreciation from Roman Reigns. Sami Zayn finally standing up to the big evil boss, and this was not what the group wanted. Jay knew that his friend was in for hell, and that's what happened. He ended up walking out signaling the beginning of the end of the bloodline. The way it started with Jay defying Roman's orders is the way it's looking to end. Fans even started chanting, "Fuck you, Roman," to end the show. Man, that was insane. It really turns things in Sami Zayn's favor, honestly. Now, I feel like there's a bigger chance of him getting a title shot against Roman Reigns on the biggest stage. It's obviously Cody Rhodes' title shot, but who knows? They might split the titles. I don't know. I don't really care if it undermines the moment of Roman losing. I would be cool with these guys taking the titles off of them, both of them. Regardless of the situation, I'm cool with that. If Sami Zayn takes the Universal title and Cody takes the WWE title, I'm cool with that. If Cody takes both of the titles, whatever. Whatever situation is going to be, I'm interested in it. When you look at things right now, it really looks like Sami Zayn is going to have something special on the road to WrestleMania. Alright, so that's the Royal Rumble. Solid show. It's not great or anything like that because, well, the Rumble matches just weren't stand out. They're just another Royal Rumble match. The Women's Rumble, I feel, had a lot more interesting things compared to the men's match. There was surprises. There were some cool spots, such as the ending. And other than that, the only thing I cared about was the main event. The Lights Out match just happened, and the Raw Women's Championship match was dope. It wasn't anything. I enjoyed this pay-per-view. It was fun. It was much better than last year's. That's one thing for sure. I'm looking forward to the road to WrestleMania with Cody, Rhea, Sami Zayn, whatever. I'm cool with everything that's happening in WWE now. And I hope they stick the landing with all these storylines because there's great potential in all these wrestlers. So, yeah. Alright, what you guys think of the Royal Rumble? Please comment down below. That's it for this video. Make sure you hit the crossroads on the like button or perhaps the Superman punch on the subscribe button. Peace. I'm out.